Oh, wow. Look at us.
All over the interwebs.
That's it. Episode 62. We are back. This is Into the Lab, Season 2, Episode 7, recording from the beautiful home studio in San Antonio, Texas. I'm your host, Ernest Silva, your favorite host, I should add to that. And we are live across all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can't catch us on one of those. You can catch us on our podcast episodes. That releases tomorrow morning. Welcome to NFL Week 7. Our Pick'em episode will be in rounds 2 and 3. Some familiar faces on your screen, but if you don't recognize one, maybe two, you haven't been paying attention, so we'll introduce them in just a moment. But like always, this episode is brought to you by the mothership Blue Collar Media Group, where you can take a look at our website, see great content that's produced for your favorite teams, professional and college alike. Want to highlight Davis Cordova has an article that just got released. He's monitoring those views and celebrating as he hits every 100 mark, so you better believe he's hyped for it. If you're a Big 12 fan, definitely go check that out, www.bluecollarmg.com. Importantly, this episode is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy, www.thrivefantasy.com, where you can place your sports bets and prop bets on your favorite athletes. All right, so let's go ahead and have the announcer bring us in and get your night/morning started right. All right, from Bali, Indonesia, commissioner of the ITL Dynasty League, hoping his intro gets played, and it didn't. Wrestling expert and beverage connoisseur, Twitter handle @Dre2124, Dre Rogers will be joining us momentarily. As you know, he likes to make his late appearance. From Pittsburgh, co-host of the Puckleheads podcast and co-founder of the Blue Collar Media Group, Twitter handle @SteelCurtainPEH, the man with the most interesting name in the world, Just Paul.
What's going on, fellas? And just so you know, Davis's article is complete shit because it doesn't have my number 1 rated Mountaineer defense as the number 6 team in the Big 12, below fucking Texas. So I really don't know what he's doing over there, but I mean, give it a read, I guess.
Paul, you just had an article on the site we own as shit.
That's how we do things here. All right, from Wagner, co-captain of the BCMG stream team and college football, I guess, expert at @DDog_1123, Davis Cordova.
6 years in a row we've beat West Virginia. I just want to put that out there, Paul. 27-13 this year as well. So gonna be a good night.
It is.
Nothing better than an Okie State and a West Virginia mouth off right when we start this episode. From Regina, co-host of the Frostbite Sports Podcast @FrostbitePod, Jet Folk.
What's up, everybody? I'm going to start this show off by letting everyone know that Carson Wentz is 4-0 all-time on Thursday night, and he's also 7-0 in the black jerseys, so expect them to pound the Giants on Thursday.
Wait, is Luke Stanfield possessing Jet Folk right now?
Yeah, he is.
I just wanted a fun fact.
That was not Jet. That was Luke Stanfield, just so everyone knows.
That's a tribute to Luke. That's definitely a tribute to Luke.
that was Luke.
Great to have you on, Jet Luke Folk. All right, from Pittsburgh, another co-host of the Puckleheads podcast has the second most interesting name in the world, Just Luke.
Yeah, I'll take that second most interesting name in the world. I will. I'll take that, fellas. Hey, I'm glad to be on here with you guys. It's finally good to kind of meet everybody, sort of, kind of, besides retweets and follows, I guess. So let's get the show started. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm hyped. Always good to hear new points of view, except the Pittsburgh Steelers jersey. We'll get you a new one. From Boston, the host of the Slightly Biased and co-founder of the Blue Collar Media Group, co-host of Into the Lab Season 2. You voted and named him your general, Los Angeles Browns' favorite son, Twitter handle @Reisner_Steven, the General Steve Reisner.
What's going on, everybody? Just glad I could be here, I guess, to be our resident Antonio Brown expert. As always, Antonio Brown found his way into the news for me.
You heard Antonio Brown was in the news, and you said, I'm on the show today, Ernest. And I was like, he's so hyped. I'm so excited.
At this point, I've had to talk about him so much that Antonio Brown should come on the show with me.
I agree. Let's try to get that to happen. Let's tag him in everything.
Good idea.
Awesome. All right. Well, those are your network champion sports scientists, and we're excited to be starting things off here tonight. We have a 3-round segment again. Round 1, news around the league. We're going to go and find out the Read All About It segment. We're going to talk about some basketball topics, some football topics, and then dive right into those pick'ems for our against the spread picks, for our primetime picks in round 2, and then, of course, the money line fire round picks in round 3. So let's hear the bell and let's jump right into round 1. All right, that's the bell. And if you didn't hear it, that's okay. We're live. You'll hear it on the podcast. But let's talk about the BCMG Stream Team. We got wins 40 and 41 in the last 2 nights. Davis has been racking up the wins. If you blinked, you probably missed it. But he had a 22-kill win, and it was recorded. So you see it everywhere on Twitter right now. He's been tagging Call of Duty everywhere. But if you haven't been getting on Call of Duty, you probably should. The Halloween edition of Call of Duty Warzone has been fantastic. We absolutely love it. We'll be on again tonight. But go find us, twitch.tv/thesportgene. Has been pretty quiet. But Davis, tell everybody where they can find you.
ddog_1123 on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/ddog_1123. That's where you'll see all of our live streaming. I have a newborn baby, so you can imagine I don't want to stream to be on mine, and then I have to hop off. So Davis is taking over those things.
Hey,
so,
Ernest, you want to tell them about your win a couple days ago with Lily?
Okay, so crazy. Okay, this is like not sports related, but news topic of the day. We are in a Call of Duty Warzone stream. We are down to the final person. It's 3-on-1, and so Alec, we've had him on the show before, was with us. So it's Davis, Alec, and I against one guy who's sniping from way across the map. And Alec is running. Lily, my daughter, starts crying. And I'm like, oh no. So I put the controller down and I just lay my guy down. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm away. They can't find me. Alec gets sniped. And so he's down. He's like, oh, I'm sniped. And Davis is like, where are they? And I go, guys, I'm probably going to have to jump. And Davis gets sniped. And lo and behold, the guy is literally right in front of me, like about 50 meters down the way. So I was like, you know what? I got a crying baby in my arms. I pick up the controller around the baby and I just press R2 and my guy just starts firing and I kill the guy and we win. That was our win number 40. That was win number 40. Yeah, that was a high point.
Winning's
right there.
winning, Ernest.
I guess
Winning
so.
is winning, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like a late field goal against the Giants. All right, so let's talk about other good news. Spooktacular Trivia comes to us next week. You'll find your favorite sports scientists in their favorite masks. I'm hoping it's not 6 Donald Trump masks. And then you'll have our Lapsters on here, as well as a guest podcast coming on to compete for tickets to an NFL game or a jersey or a $25 gift card. Just kind of depends what we're going to have on who shows up. So you want to join, you want to be a part of the action, comment hashtag ELM or EVM, and that gets you an entry to be a part of our trivia next week. It'll be fantasy football. So fantasy football trivia, our spooktacular trivia of the month. And then following week, we're going to have Battle of the Sexes. Our 2 female sports scientists will be coming on and competing against another guest podcast. So if you want to be on the lookout for that, Melissa Tom Michael and Ashley Garcia will be competing on behalf of ITL the following week. So a lot of trivia coming up, a lot of fun. But you know what? Let's dive into the real news and talk some sports. So let's start with the NBA because the NFL kind of is a highlight for the rest of the day. We'll start with New Orleans. Stan Van Gundy has been announced to be the new head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. So Zion Williamson gets his first major head coach change. Paul, how do you see that happening and how do you see it fitting there in New Orleans?
I wish they would have went a different way. I honestly wish they went with your boy. That they just seem to be built for more than D'Antoni style. And I just really I don't like the retread route in the NBA anymore. Give me somebody young, fresh, has some ideas, and I don't know how Van Gundy really relates to those guys. I'm very interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that as well. I wanted somebody that fits Zion a little bit more. Steve, do you think that the coaching change went in to Stan because of his experience working with, players like Dwight Howard, big-bodied individuals where they're experts on the big man, or is this more of we want an experienced coach with Zion?
I'm sure it was a little bit of both. I completely agree with what Paul said. It's the retread of coaches is getting to be a little too much, but that's probably why they went with him, is the experience. He worked with guys like Dwight Howard and all that before, like you said, and a big name, flashy, sells tickets.
Yeah, I agree. Davis, good or bad for Zion's legacy to start off with Stan Van Gundy?
Well, I mean, you can't really judge it now. I mean, you gotta wait a couple years down the road to really make that decision. But I think
We
that's
just
the
have to watch like the first preseason game.
You're right. You're right. But the real reason they didn't go with D'Antoni is because Zion doesn't get up the floor like a Russ or a Harden. But Stan has a game plan that fits Zion pretty well.
Yeah, the reason I bring up Dwight is because Zion has that big body feeling down low where he likes to be ball dominant. And if you remember the Dwight years, there was a ton of conflict with how Stan Van Gundy ran his offense and how it didn't feature him. And that was a big topic for, I think, almost
Right.
before they finally decided to break them up. Jet and Just Luke, I'm going to go to your opinions next. New Orleans Pelicans got better with the coaching change, or they got worse?
I think it comes down to what Stan's willing to do with Brandon Ingram. I think that's a budding all-star in the making that is potentially going to end up being better than Zion. I know that's going to be crazy for some people to hear, but I genuinely look at his game as one that could somewhat resemble that of a Kevin Durant. It's a very similar style, and if they can get that to its peak, then they're going to have a really good team. But if they put a bunch of focus on Zion and not as much on Brandon Ingram, they might screw themselves. So that's what I'm looking to watch.
Just Luke, wrap us up on this. What do you think? Pelicans getting better, or are they staying the same, or it's worse, or it's too early to tell?
Honestly, with any coaching change, my philosophy is always 4 years. So with him signing a 4-year deal, you give him 3 draft classes and a year to do something with it. So he's naturally a 500 ball coach, really. I mean, he's a little over 500. So I think it's a steady pick. I don't think it's a great pick. I don't think it was a bad pick. I think it was just a steady pick by the Pelicans for sure.
Yep, and I completely agree with you. Kenny is saying from Facebook land, JJ played with Stan Van Gundy in Orlando and loves him. Does that play a factor? No, it doesn't, Kenny. And I wish you were on the show today so you could say that out loud. But that probably does throw. That probably went into the pick. That's for sure. And then of course another listener, Marty Traber, said, "Do not let all this NBA nonsense distract you from the fact that Phil Kessel was a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. The team has been absolute shit since JR traded him."
Absolutely. I agree with that man right there. Give that man hot dogs and 2 Stanley Cups.
Speaking of absolute shit, let's go to the Houston Rockets management of what's going on over there. And that's coming from a Rockets fan. So if you haven't heard the news, Mike D'Antoni decided he was not coming back. There went the whole small ball experience. And I see Dre's in the waiting room. I keep forgetting there's a waiting room. And Daryl Morey has decided to step down as well. So the GM moves to Raphael Stone, which was a Daryl Morey protege, and the head coach search continues. It looks like John Lucas is a front runner. JVG, or Jeff Van Gundy, who is a beloved coach in Houston, has now taken a third seat to, I believe, the old assistant coach, what's his first name, but Silas from Dallas, the Dallas Mavericks assistant coach. So fellas, I pose this question to y'all so you guys can do some research and kind of get prepped. But I'm going to say this. You are the Rockets general manager. So many things on social media today have been thrown out there. Blow up the team, trade Russ, trade Harden, get your picks back from OKC, whatever it may be. Talk to me. I'm going to start this off with you, Paul. Again, if you're the Rockets general manager, name me a move or a couple of first moves you would make to this Houston Rockets team.
Go get Boogie Cousins. Go get Boogie. Like, you can get him for a league minimum deal. See where it's at. And then you surround him with some shooters and see what you got. I also am a big believer in this Morey move has everything to do with the NBA in China. There's way more behind that than just, oh, well, things didn't work out and time to move on. He was a great GM for them. He did great things for them. And I believe this was from on high. Get him out of there. We don't want to hear that anymore. We're not alienating that fan base.
I completely agree. It was China related. I'll give you my 2 cents in just a second. Just Luke, let me hear the second most interesting name in the world. Give us his Rockets GM speak.
Honestly, between Russ and James, I mean, you've got probably close to 130 million, 150 million dollars wrapped up between those two. Mm-hmm. You know what you're going to get with Russ and you know what you're going to get with James. I just don't know which one I would trade at this point. You're both league MVPs, honestly. But if I'm going to trade somebody, I don't think I could trade James because to me he's the face of the franchise. So it'd have to be Russ, in my opinion.
Yep, that would be a big first move if Russ were to go. If you thought Russ could go anywhere in the NBA, Luke, just hypothetically, where does he go and why?
I don't know if he would go like with a budding team down in New Orleans. I don't really know if that would fit that system down there. I mean, he's a ball dominant point guard. So, I mean, he's probably going to go to the Lakers. Honestly, he's going to take a pay cut and he'll go to the Lakers.
Oh, wow. I just don't know who would LA send back.
Oh, probably Kuz, probably, right?
The sad thing is there are probably Lakers fans like
there's probably somebody out there saying
it. There are Lakers fans tweeting out that trade scenario.
Probably.
There's
They've
no
thought
doubt
of that
in
already. They've thought
What
about
if
it already.
we just trade Kuzma?
Yeah.
For Russell Westbrook.
Straight up.
As I'm watching Dre come on the screen,
Straight
I'm
up.
just thinking of that song "Making My Way Downtown" as he's walking through everything. So I'm excited to see you alive, Dre.
I've got a theme song now. Awesome.
Well, Dre, we'll let you continue to weave your way through traffic. I know you're training for that dodgeball tournament. Jet, how do you feel about the Rockets GM position? What would you do?
What?
Who, me?
Yeah, Dre, not you. Mute yourself. Dre, Jet. What do you...
Sorry.
Oh,
what
wait.
was the question?
Wait a second. Is that Jerry Rice?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Well, I'll go back to you, Jet.
Dre.
We're pros. We are pros.
Oh my God.
And Jerry Reisner got a new haircut too, didn't he?
No, actually, he didn't.
Always a pleasure, Dre. Always a pleasure.
That's weird that Dre Rogers keeps track of.
I don't know.
Jerry's haircuts.
You look different. Maybe it's just you not wearing orange.
I haven't worn orange in weeks.
All right, Jet, talk to us. Rockets GM, what would you do?
I'd be getting on the phone as soon as possible with Masai Ujiri, see what's going on with Kyle Lowry, and see if you can make a package, or rather have them make a package involving Lowry coming to you for Westbrook.
Ooh.
That's a good idea there.
Right.
Bringing him home.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. All right, Davis, I know you've thought about this. What would you do if you have the Rockets? You have the mantles of the Rockets.
It's really hard to say. I mean, they can go either two ways. They can keep the group now and add on with maybe like a Christian Wood or trade for a Brook Lopez. They really need a big. That's what they need. But they could also trade Russ. And I really don't know any destination for Russ that would work for him. Maybe the Pistons with Blake Griffin or the Cavaliers with Drummond. But it's going to be a really, really interesting free agency this season.
Steve, you hold the reins of the Houston Rockets in your hands. What is your first move?
Well, all right. First of all, is there actually beef between Harden and Westbrook?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, they're best friends.
Well, you just invested. I know it's actually wasn't the same GM, but you just invested so much into Westbrook. I mean, what Jet said, that's actually an interesting idea. That's something I hadn't even thought of. But anything else, you're not going to be able to move him for what you gave up. It's going to be hard to give up that contract. And if Harden and Westbrook don't want to be split up, and you only move one of them, well, you might have caused yourself a fucking problem.
That's very true. So you would just run it back then?
I might as well give it another shot because you don't want to piss. I don't know. You only gave them one season together. They're two talented guys. Unless you can actually get something real. And again, you don't want to piss off the players because If you piss off James Harden, he doesn't want to play for you, and you chip out Russell Westbrook, well, then what are you going to do?
Okay. All right. So let me give you a hypothetical, all right? Because Kenny beat me to it on Facebook, so I appreciate that, Kenny. Tristan Thompson, Eric Gordon, same salary. Do you swap them? Would you do it if you're the Houston Rockets?
No.
No.
No. Tristan Thompson's a no-go.
No.
Andre Drummond.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You probably have to
Eric
include
Gordon and Andre Drummond are the same salary.
No, you'd include another couple players from
Oh.
the Rockets. Probably
I
PJ
was,
Tucker.
I was
And,
going to say, okay.
it'd probably be PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon and Austin Rivers in a package for Andre Drummond.
Yeah. Sign up today for that.
Okay. Dre, you have a Houston Rockets take, or are you out on this one?
The first thing I was going to say was I was shocked by what Steve said because I thought his first move as Rockets GM was going to be trade Harden to the Celtics.
He already tried
we
that.
don't have the cap.
Already tried that.
I wanted Covington.
Yeah.
Wow, you could trade him for Hayward and every other piece that we have there and just keep Tatum and Brown.
But I'd rather
Hayward and
keep
Kemba for Harden might be enough to get Harden.
It'll never happen, but that's a good try.
Yeah.
I agree with Stephen A. Smith's take that Harden is an icon there in Houston. He's untouchable.
Or Hayward and Kemba for Westbrook because Danny Ainge loves Westbrook.
If
Indeed.
Milwaukee offered Giannis for Harden and you're the Rockets GM, do you take that trade?
No.
100 times out of 100.
Yep. Just straight up, just Harden for Antetokounmpo.
Just straight up.
No.
I wouldn't touch that trade with a 10-foot pole.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it doesn't work out, he's just going to leave. So.
Yeah, it's just real easy to be 7 foot and dunk. All right, so let's move on. My take for the Houston Rockets is that you look for a trade partner suitable for Eric Gordon. I think Eric Gordon has lived his tenure there in Houston. Get a big in his place, whether sending him to New York and bringing back a Julius Randle or trying to figure out a deal to bring back something like a Tristan Thompson. You need a big down there that's going to be able to give you valuable minutes. So that would be my pick because you can find a sharpshooter and replace him in Eric Gordon's shoes easier than you can find a big man that has
What
actual
about
skill down low.
Oladipo?
Oh, he's a free agent, correct?
He wants to move.
He wants to leave.
Yeah, I think he wants to
Yeah.
leave.
But he does
I
like
can't
the
blame
coach
him.
there. The new coach, he does like him. So
Yeah, we'll have to see what plays out.
I'd probably be keeping my eye on Montrezl Harrell as well.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know they've asked Orlando about Vucevic. I know Jonathan Isaac becomes a free agent. I mean, there's a lot of big names that are big men that are out there that are free agents. So we'll have to see what kind of deal they can get. I know I think Wiley Cauley-Stein is also a free agent too. He was only on a 1-year deal. So yeah, lots of names. Let's move on from the NBA. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL and go into our bread and butter here. So let's start off with Le'Veon Bell. We all were talking about where we thought he would go. We kind of hit around the right spot. Kansas City is where he ended up. Ultimately, he starts his first game this week. Do we like Le'Veon Bell in Kansas City? I'm going to start there with you, Jet.
Do I like him there to win a ring? Absolutely. But I think CEH being there is going to cut into his success on the field, much like he's going to cut into CEH's. But I mean, if they're both high caliber running backs working at the best that they can, there really is no issue. That's a great problem to have. So I don't think either of them are going to be upset about losing some touches to one another.
Absolutely agree. I think Le'Veon Bell's just a more experienced CEH for what he wants to do and what the play type it's going to be. Just Luke, do you think Lev Bell eventually becomes a starter there in Kansas City, or are they keeping CEH there as a starter?
No, they're definitely going to keep CEH as a starter. I just don't see Clyde on the goal line. I haven't seen the production from him yet. And I know if you put Lev Bell in the backfield, defenses are going to be freaking out to try to figure out who goes where against that offense for sure. It's going to give them fits. It's going to be like a LeGarrette Blount, James White type deal. I wouldn't say that maybe. He's not as big as Blount, but something like that. A little lightning, a little thunder action kind of deal, honestly. That's kind of what I foresee.
Now, the Just brothers have a lot of experience with Le'Veon Bell. You guys got to experience
Blunt
that
man
full
and
force.
Cronin.
Just brothers.
The Just brothers. So talk to me, guys. When you saw Big Ben, when he would feature the running back in the passing game, and when you had an offense that featured Lev Bell, what he could do, Kansas City Chiefs like to run that kind of system. So now you have Lev Bell kind of fitting like a puzzle piece. I think he could do major things in that system. It's just a matter of volume. Paul, do you think that Lev Bell's fantasy value goes up or goes down with the addition into the Chiefs offense?
I mean, I think he's just a solid flex RB2. I don't think he's an RB1 just because of what Jet said. I mean, they're going to cut into each other's carries. But I do see, I would say, maybe 10 to 15% of the time, they're both going to be in the game, and they're going to motion them around in the slot, and you're going to have major problems with Kelsey. You got Kelsey there. He's gonna take a safety there, and you're gonna have a linebacker on one of those dudes, and it's gonna be a nightmare. And you got Tyreek Hill just blowing the top off. So it's gonna be. You're gonna see a lot of that basic. You know how you hear Remo talk about the triangle. You know they're gonna triangle them guys, and you're gonna have major problems to defend.
Yeah, I completely agree. I didn't even think about having two running back sets where you have CEH and Le'Veon Bell all on the field, how much that's going to disrupt, except for the Cowboys because they have two amazing linebackers. But let's move on from there. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not that high on the Cowboys right now. I'm just kidding. Let's talk a little bit. Davis, did you have a Le'Veon take it all? Steve?
No, not really.
Steve?
I don't really. They pretty much said everything. Paul,
yeah, I'm gonna
Paul
say
hit the nail on the head there.
He's just waiting. He's just waiting for the next segment because that's Jamie Reisner's special segment.
Yeah, he definitely is waiting for the final segment in round one. But I do want to say, just Paul did get Le'Veon Bell in a great trade. He got him from me, so he's hyped about it. He gave me Justin Herbert, but he got Lev Bell and DJ Chark. So kudos to you, just Paul, putting your money where your mouth is. We'll see if that works out. All right, let's move on to Antonio Brown himself, which is Steve Reisner's favorite athlete to talk about. Really excited to be featuring Antonio Brown. Looks like the Seattle Seahawks have voiced they are interested in Antonio Brown once he serves his final 8-week suspension. Steve, talk to us a little bit about Antonio Brown. What's going on over there in camp?
Well, me and Antonio have not been in close contact lately. But I can see Seattle.
Yeah.
I guess I could, but I don't really understand why Seattle would go for another receiver when their clear issue right now is defense. I think Ravens is another one that I think would be out there. I don't think they care about crazy personalities. I mean, they kept Earl Thomas around for quite a while there. That dude's got some shit going on. But I don't know what's going on with Antonio. It's weird to me that he wasn't even signed and he's finished his suspension. Shouldn't you sign a contract?
I think the investigation is actually still going on. So I mean,
yeah, and that's the other thing, dude. Don't you want to kind of stay away from that? Can you just get suspended again?
I don't know. Davis, fantasy implications. Antonio Brown becomes active, starts with a team. Do you pick him up?
No.
Adam Schefter picked him up in his in a league. I saw it was tweeted out.
No, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are already there. So.
Yeah, I do agree. Seattle and Baltimore are the two teams that have been rumored to be interested in them. Jed, I'm going to go over to you. Antonio Brown, does that interest you with Baltimore or does that interest you with Seattle more?
It would interest me a lot more with Seattle strictly because Russell Wilson's way better at throwing the football. But the team that I think AB should try to reach out to and try to be a good person in front of is the Philadelphia Eagles because they are a franchise that is in desperate need of receivers and they're in a division that they could still win. If he could go in and maybe sweet talk, maybe go, hey, I'm not that crazy, I'll be good. Maybe it works out for both parties.
I could see that. Of course, probably go to the Dallas Cowboys. We're basically mean machine over here. We take all the criminals and bring them back their comeback story. Just Luke, you're shaking your head because I bring a lot of Cowboys references in here. But talk to me, Antonio Brown. Where does he sign and why?
Honestly, I would not mind him being in the Green Bay Packers system.
No, I can see that.
Oh,
Having Devontae Adams on the outside, him in the slot area, having Aaron Jones in the backfield. I mean, they've been begging for weapons up in Green Bay for years. Why not? I mean, kick the wheels. Fuck it at this point, right? I mean,
Yeah, I like that.
if
I
you can
like
do
that a
it, you
lot.
might as well do it. Give Aaron Rodgers some help.
Or hear me out,
That's never gonna
Tampa
happen.
Bay, because they get everybody. Am I right?
There you
Am I
go.
right?
Hey, what about the Texans?
The
Line them up
Texans,
with Deshaun Watson. Maybe they make the playoffs this year.
the Texans even
No
have a
way.
GM.
They have Brandon Cooks. They always make the Super Bowl with Brandon Cooks.
Hey,
They are going to make the
the
Super Bowl. That's actually going to
Texans
happen.
have reached out to me, Ernest, to take the GM job. They know that I'm a Patriots fan, and they thought it might be as close as they can get to another like Patriots guy.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense. I'm all
yeah,
for
they-
Daryl Morey signing on as a GM of the Houston Texans.
I heard there's a guy named Bill O'Brien. I think that's his
Oh,
name.
God.
I can't remember.
It's actually Brian O'Bill.
Restructured contract.
Ernest, I'll give you this much about the Tampa Bay theory. There is a bit to that because it's well known that Tom Brady and Antonio Brown actually have a very good friendship. So, I
There you
mean, it's
go.
not crazy.
Not crazy. They're always injured. They need more wide receivers. It's just like they needed more running backs.
Yeah.
Dre, I'm going to give you the final word here. Where does Antonio Brown sign?
I think Seattle, just because Russell Wilson is playing at an MVP level, so he's got a good opportunity to put up some numbers, and that offense is pretty suitable for him. I also like the Ravens just because his cousin's there, and I do see your scenario of him going to the Cowboys, and then maybe the Cowboys trading CeeDee Lamb to the Browns for Baker Mayfield. Just because that trade recently happened in fantasy, so
Thank you, Dre. I appreciate that Cowboys reference. Paul, tell everybody.
Dre, you know what's amazing to me is that you play fantasy football, and your entire life is a fantasy.
what can I say, man? I'm living the life in Bali, so it's all fantasy. It's fantasy here.
Dre, every time you come on the show, you're in this specific spot every single time. Is that a restaurant you go to?
Yes.
Okay, and
He's
so
hiding from the kite.
I've got my seat and everything. I've got my entire setup here.
what restaurant are you in?
It's called Taquito Express.
No,
where
it's
you
not.
get 7.99 tacos for 10%. If you mention it to the lab, all you can eat tacos.
Oh my gosh. Paul, tell everybody where this real round one came from.
Living my best cigar life. They got all the premium cigars you could want, humidors, accessories. Go ahead, check them out. livingmybestcigarlife.com. Use the code MyBestCigarLife, all caps. You get $10 off your first order.
Awesome, awesome. Great stuff. And I see the champ, Kenny Cotterill, has joined us here after round one has concluded. But Kenny, I'm glad I got you right at the end. Let me get your Antonio Brown take. How does that going to feel with the NFL? Where's Antonio Brown going?
What prisons he headed to?
Kansas State Penitentiary.
Kansas State? Oh, man, I don't have them in my fantasy league.
There.
I got to pick them up. We could have really used them in that guillotine league, boys.
Yeah, could have.
Well, Kenny, I'm glad you came on because it sparks back what I wanted to talk about at the end of the segment, which I completely forgot, so I apologize. But I wanted to give a huge shout out to you and your fiance's girlfriend, and significant other. And just wanted to say a huge shout out to her as she was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma back in June. But she's undergone 6 rounds of chemo, and she is going to be hopefully on her final round of chemo as well.
Why is this thing keep freezing?
Of all the times for
Wow.
it to cut
Yeah. Of
all the times
the
for it to cut
times
out.
in the world.
I thought it
Wow.
was just me for a second there, but Ernest, I do appreciate that.
I thought it was my internet connection or
He's
something.
He's
I
just
think we're
taking
back.
a moment.
I think
He's
we're back.
alive.
Yeah.
He
Of
is.
all the time.
There we go. Can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
love this.
Oh,
show.
that's what. Well, huge shout out to
I
her. Yeah, there we go.
love this show.
Thanks, Ernest. I appreciate it, man. Production value, top notch.
Let's go ahead and take a break and let's start round 2. That was the bell, and round 2 is our primetime pick 'em. If you missed round 1, it was a doozy. We're going to talk about the NFL games of the week, and as you know it, our records show for themselves. Kenny is our current champion at 66-27 through 6 weeks of football when it comes to his picks.
I'm just
Davis,
as shocked as you are, Jet.
yeah. Davis is 61-30. And I had a really rough week. I'm now at 58-32. And surprisingly, Dre is up there, 58-31. He didn't pick a game in one of those weeks. So Dre with a better overall percentage, but with the same amount of wins, tied for third. So let's talk about this week's games. And we're going to start with the ever so wonderful Thursday night football matchup between two juggernaut franchises, the New York Football Giants visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles are actually not favored in this game. The Giants are 3.5-point favorites. But Jet, why don't you remind the people before we do our picks of those records again?
Yeah, I mean, this is easy. Carson Wentz is only good on one day of the week, and it happens to be Thursday where he's 4-0. They're wearing their black uniforms. They're 7-0 in them. Lock it up. It's over. Eagles.
So Jet's going to tell you guys right now, lock it up, Eagles. And actually, I'm incorrect. The Eagles are 4.5-point favorites. So let me put that correction on there. So let me see. Do you want to change? Do you want to change that, Jet?
No, that would have been free money if you were right. But
yeah. So Philadelphia, I thought I had it wrong. Philadelphia 4.5-point favorites. Jet says take them and the spread. Davis, how do you feel?
Eagles are blowing the Giants out of the water this week. Don't take my word on it, though. Philadelphia to cover.
Book it. They're done, but don't trust me.
Yeah. Don't trust me, but the Eagles will blow out the Giants. I think Carson Wentz has that game that he's been needing the whole year, and hopefully it's just one game so that the Cowboys can win the division 4-12. So,
but just don't take his word for it.
Don't take his word for it. Just Luke, your debut. Talk to us.
The battle of the very, very, very beatens, fellas. I think that's pretty much this whole Thursday night schedule has just been a turd all year, besides the canceled game last week, I guess. So give me Danny 2 nickels to win this game. I think Danny Dimes gets it done for sure this week.
Danny 2 nickels.
Wow. Wow. He is taking the New York Giants as his first pick on ITL. Just Paul, why don't we correct some stuff here? What's your pick this week?
I'm sorry that he's on here. No, but it's funny. You mentioned all these records, but I couldn't get a shout out for the 5-0 against the spread last week again, the primetime game. You know what I'm saying?
My
So,
gosh, here we go.
You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm just putting it out there, guys. 5-0 last week against the spread. But I do like the Eagles. I just think the Eagles are way more talented. And you can say what you want about Carson Wentz. Like, he made some throws last week, and those guys just dropped the goddamn ball. Like, catch the ball. Like, they got to get this win at home, or there will be blood in the stands. Because if you guys saw the videos last week, almost killing a guy. Like, we better get a win this week.
Yep.
Eagles to cover.
Limited capacity in the Eagles Stadium, and you're still likely to die.
Hey, at Rated Burke,
and not from COVID.
Mark, this is where you input the battle scenes.
This
is where you input the battle scenes. I am picking Philly to cover. If you didn't hear it earlier, 3-0, 7-0 with those jerseys, 3-0 Thursday Night Football. I'm taking Carson Wentz and those Eagles. It'll be probably the only time I ever pick the Eagles unless they have another easy matchup. But going with the Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly. Of course, Andrew Kahn put in the chat what he was picking. The New York Giants is his pick for Thursday Night Football. So obviously you should be betting Eagles. Kenny, come on in, champ. Who do you got?
Luke, that's got to feel pretty shitty knowing that you went with Andrew on that one. Jake Elliott, take the under on that kicker
Oh,
because they're going to be getting a
Oh
ton of
my God.
touchdowns.
Here we
No
go.
field
Psychopath.
The BCMG
Psychopath.
psychopath is back with his unders, and it's on kickers. Let's go. Eagles win and cover.
With the goddamn Jets.
I hope it's an 18-15 game just
I'm
because.
squatting you guys jet schemes, and you still can't catch me. Like, figure it out.
Oh my gosh, Steve.
You know, Jake Elliott might get that in extra points, bud.
It's possible. That's my concern is the extra points.
Do you want my take on the game, Ernest, or on the kicker? I'm
both
confused.
at this point.
Kenny's weird, and yeah, I'm gonna take the Eagles, but I'm not gonna take them to cover 4.5. I don't know. I just think both these teams will just kind of slop it out against each other.
That's such a political answer, Steve. It's like the most
You like that?
political 8 against the spread we've ever had. But I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, Dre, wrap us up on this one.
Raven in here?
Is he not here? Okay.
Hey,
This is what he does. This is what he does. He skips the hard ones so that he gets a better overall record at the end of the year. This is what he does.
Wow.
Like,
Ernest, this is a hard one. This is a hard game to pick.
For him, it's probably like 50-50 in his head. So he's like, I'm going to disconnect and eat my eggs real quick.
Yeah,
Is this a game?
he's got to
who's at home?
pick and
Who's
which
the home
one's going
team?
to pick against.
The Eagles are the home team.
Who are we picking?
Is this game management by?
Oh, I see what you
Dre?
guys are doing.
I can't hear. I can't hear. What was the pick again?
What did Steve pick? What was Steve's pick?
Yeah.
I'm literally
picked the
gonna put
Eagles to
didn't
win,
pick
but
on
not
his
to
pick
cover.
Yeah.
Well, no. If Steve picked Philly, then he has to pick the Giants because he always
That's
gets
true. That's true.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give an
that's-
automatic Giants pick.
There you go.
Hey,
Okay,
Over,
I like that.
under,
I like that.
1.5.
Automatic
record.
Giants pick.
You're absolutely right. Good
Hey,
call, guys.
Steve.
Good call. Let's go to Tennessee
job,
where we
Kenny.
got a real juggernaut battle at the noon game. Tennessee hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tennessee 1-point favorites over those Steelers. I am going to start with the Just brothers on this game as this is their team. So Just Paul, lead us in.
Devin Bush's injury for the Steelers is devastating. That's a big loss. It's not just his athleticism; it's the fact that he makes all the calls too. But then Taylor Lewan went down for the Titans, and that's not good news against Bud Dupree and TJ Watt. I'm terrible picking Titans games, and I don't really know what to expect out of this. I think that we can hold Derrick Henry in check and put the game in Tannehill's hands, like for real, like without a running game, and see if we can turn it around. So I'm going to take the Steelers to win.
Don't expect anything less from you on this one, Paul. Luke,
Right.
surprise me.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. First of all, I'm not on mute, so we're good there. My finger's right on the mute button, so we're gonna avoid that whole situation.
No,
to
he's
start
not
off.
muted.
Yes,
Not
I'm
muted.
good. Yeah, we're good there. So, realistically, the Steelers leading the NFL in sacks with Bud Dupree and TJ Watt. I think that defense is going to be too much. They're not going to be able to completely stop Derrick Henry. I really don't think there's a team in the NFL that's really going to stop Derrick Henry. I mean, it's going to be the Steelers pull out, probably give me the Wizard of Oz with a field goal win.
Okay, so taking this, you said Steelers, right? Am I hearing that right?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't expect anything less from y'all. Kenny, give
Right.
us the real analysis on this game.
Oh my God, the real.
When did I become
real-
the NFL analyst of this show?
Thanks, Kenny. Davis, who do you pick for this game?
Well, don't trust
hey,
Davis.
Yeah,
Can't trust
don't take Davis's word
Never
for
mind.
it.
Back to Kenny.
But you can always ask the Patriots fan.
No, I'm not going to use Steve whatsoever for this game.
I'm taking Pitt by a field goal. I think it's like a 27-24 game. Yeah, you can't stop Derrick Henry, but if you hold him under like let's say 80 yards, then I think you're in good shape. I think Pitt can do that. I think Derrick Henry's going to finish with like 70 yards, so give me Pitt.
Perfect. Davis, I'm going to ask you, you sticking with Kenny's pick on this one?
Well, hold up. Just Paul. Who did you pick?
I picked the Steelers.
Okay, they're playing the Titans though.
Yep,
Uh-oh.
indeed. You can see
Oh,
you can see
no.
the gerbil on the
The
wheel
curse?
turning, right?
Ah, you
Oh,
fucked that up, Paul. You just
no.
jinxed your own team.
No.
Haven't you been 0 for 5 for the Titans this year?
Hey, no, they won last week for me.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, okay.
I almost
Maybe
got
it's
that win.
broken.
I don't
Maybe
care.
it's broken.
You almost
So-
got that win.
Yeah.
So give me the Steelers. Steelers to win.
He's gonna
And
ride
cover.
that luck there. Jet, give us some analysis on this game.
Well, I think if there's one team in the NFL that can stop Derrick Henry, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. If he can't do it, no one can. I think this is going to be a statement game for the Steelers. I've been saying this entire time. I want to see the Steelers beat somebody. This is somebody, and they're going to do it. I really love that defensive run stop, especially with Taylor Lewan out. And in their own credit, Steelers have been pretty good at running the ball. Titans have not been good at stopping the run. So I really think that the Steelers can control time of possession in this game, dominate them, get to Tannehill. It's going to be a rough game for the Titans, I think. So I'm going to take Steelers and spread for Steelers.
Perfect. Before we get excited about a sweep pick, I just want to let you guys know Andrew ruined it by picking the Titans, so that's automatically on the board.
Man, I feel better about that.
Andrew picked Tennessee to win this game. Dre, I'm gonna go over to you. Oh, Dre's not here. That's right. Steve.
I'm gonna take the Steelers. I hate to do it. You're welcome, Just Brothers. I picked the Steelers. Yeah, I just not having Taylor Lewan is just gonna be way too much for the Titans to try to overcome against that Steelers pass rush. Steelers, and I'll take them to cover.
I completely agree. And if you are out there and you think Juju's done, go ahead and sell him, because anybody who gets him is lucky. I think Juju has a big game this week, a statement game for Juju all over that Tennessee secondary. You saw what Brandon Cooks could do with some speed. I think Juju does the same thing. And if you got the Chase Claypool big touchdown coming, I'm all about Pittsburgh. And that steel curtain's going to hold up Derrick Henry. Take the under on those yards. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell him to take the under on Derrick Henry yards. You're crazy. You're crazy, Kenny. I saw you were shaking your head. Yes, already. No. Yeah. Pittsburgh wins and covers, boys. I'm going to say that if we didn't have Andrew and Dre on here, it would be all Pittsburgh. So Dre taking Tennessee because Steve chose Pittsburgh. Let's move on to the divisional juggernaut between Arizona and Seattle. Seattle visiting team, 3.5-point favorites on the road against Arizona, who beat those streaking hot Cowboys last Monday night. So Kyler Murray and the gang going over into a divisional matchup, which I think is going to be a really good game. Big shootout. Russell Wilson having his core together. But again, like Steve said earlier, Seattle's defense has been susceptible to the pass, really bad in the secondary. So I expect this to be a shootout. I am taking Seattle to win and cover this game on the road against Arizona. I'll give my pick first on this one. Of course, Andrew chose Arizona to win this game at home. So let that sink for everybody listening. I do not think this is a big Kenyon Drake game, so that's my caution fantasy advice. I don't think this is a Kenyon Drake game. So I'm going to start off with somebody who I haven't started off with yet. Jet, go ahead and start off with you on this one.
I think that this is a game where the Seattle defense finally gets super exposed to the point where they actually lose a game. Kyler Murray's going to have a field day against that defense, and as great as Russell Wilson is, his defense is going to let him down this time. I like Arizona, and I like them to cover their spread.
Perfect. Kenny, you're up next.
I 100% agree with Jet. Divisional games are weird. Arizona's at home. Seattle, outside of that New England victory, hasn't really beaten anyone of quality yet. Like, I wouldn't consider Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, or the Vikings as quality teams. So I think Arizona exposes them. D-Hop's going to have a big day. And they're going to win it and cover.
Perfect. Davis.
I'm going to stick with the Seahawks. Not because Kenny picked the Cardinals. but I mean, the Cardinals defense played really well against Cowboys just because they have, like, no one. But the Cardinals defense isn't that good either. So, I mean, it's really just going to be like a Texas-Oklahoma shootout that we're gonna watch on Sunday. So give me the Seahawks to cover.
Gotcha. Just Luke, starting with you and the Just Brothers.
Give me Kyler Murray. I mean, that kid is lightning in a bottle. If he gets on the edge and he gets going, give it to D-Hop. I think Kenyon Drake actually finds some traction in this game, especially if Kyler Murray gets going on the ground game, especially. Give me Arizona to cover for sure.
Perfect. Paul.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals as well. Buda Baker's being back. You see the impact he had on that game. Full defense of theirs to keep it under control. I like what he's doing a lot, and you just can't really lay 3.5 on the road with the Seahawks. Just what Kenny said, they really haven't beat anybody yet, and they don't really have an identity. It's Russ, but like you
Spit it out, Paul. Come on.
Come on, man. Today, Junior.
I love this show.
We haven't got 5G yet, guys. I mean, what do you want from us?
We're tight here. The suspense is killing me.
Jet and I had better internet up here in Siberia.
Siberia.
And then you don't really.
Now, I'm going to stop you there, Paul. Here's what I think about what you just said.
I got time.
It's like watching the sloth from that cartoon movie.
Yeah.
He's still going.
He's still going.
So I'm going to go with Arizona. And give it to 3.
We got the pick. We're good.
He got it. He chose Arizona. We got that at the end.
Yeah.
Steve, give us you and Dre's pick.
So I'm going to take Arizona. You guys kind of talked me into it. I don't trust that Seattle defense. Not having Chandler Jones, I think, is going to impact Arizona. But yeah, it's going to be whoever gets the ball last.
Davis, I think
against
you
the
and I
Vikings.
agree. We're taking MVP over 3-3. So we'll just. Or are they 4-2? They might be 4-2.
Undefeated
Yeah, they're
over
4-2.
Dark horse MVP.
Hey, they lost to the Lions.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about those Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. Tampa Bay 3.5-point favorites on the road. Looks like just Paul has left. He'll probably be back.
Do we bully Paul out of this?
No, we will come back to Paul. So no, Paul will come back. But just to end up, Dre does pick Seattle in that game, as Steve has picked Arizona. So 3 of us picked Seattle, while the rest picked Arizona. Let's talk about Tampa Bay, Las Vegas. Las Vegas coming off of the bye. Tampa Bay coming off of a big win against those Green Bay Packers that surprised our entire panel last week. So I'll start this one off with you, Kenny. Aaron Rodgers, was thinking about Green Bay. Tom Brady going on the road, taking on a rested Oakland Raiders. There we go. It's one of those segments. Las Vegas Raiders. Talk to us, Kenny. Who you have in this game?
Rooting against the team that he won a Super Bowl with. Hey, Tampa's going to win this game. I think they're going to win just shy of a touchdown. Tom really didn't have to do a lot last week because that defense was just so good. So I expect him to have a pretty solid day, and give me Tampa Bay to win and cover.
Perfect. Tampa Bay going with Kenny's pick. Davis going right to you next.
Give me the Bucks and to cover. Raiders coming off a bye week, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. John Gruden. I mean, he's not gonna have a game plan for Tom Brady and Bruce Arians try and stop him after they basically shut down Aaron Rodgers after the first quarter. So give me the Bucks to cover.
Perfect. Don't forget Raiders coming off of that big win against Kansas City also before the bye week. Steve, give us you and Dre's pick.
I'm going to take the Bucks to cover. Bucks are hot right now. After that, they kind of made a statement, I think, last week against the Packers. I think they're going to keep it rolling.
Is Gronk back, Steve, or was that a fluke?
Who's that?
Sure, Steve.
Is that
What's your favorite
that
team
wrestling
starting
guy?
tight end?
Sure. Who's that? Sure, Steve. That guy down there in Tampa. So that means Dre is picking Las Vegas Raiders to win this game and upset those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He believes they're going to ride that momentum from Kansas City. He's just picking apart contenders. Las Vegas Raiders riding car to an MVP. Jet, who do you have in this game?
I think it's noteworthy that the Raiders are significantly better at home, but there is something that I cannot ignore, and it's that since Gruden's returned, he is 0-2 after his bye week, and both the games he lost by over 2 touchdowns. And I don't know why that is, but it's just something that I saw, and I was like, damn, that is sketchy. I think the Buccaneers are going to get better and better as the year goes by, and I'm just going to get more and more confident with them. So I'm going to go Bucs to cover.
I'm going Tampa Bay as well. I'm going to write the streaks. Went with Carson Wentz and the Eagles, going with Brady and the Buccaneers. Hopefully Godwin and Evans are a little bit healthier this week so we can see some fantasy relevance. All right, Just Brothers, you're ending us on this one. I'm going to start with you, Paul.
He
I
just
like the
stopped
Bucs.
making his last pick.
He's alive. We're good.
The internet sucks here. There's
Really?
nothing I can do about
It
it.
was fine here.
No, I'm going with the Bucs. Give me the Bucs to cover.
Perfect. Just Luke.
Give me a Ryan Suckup field goal for the win, Tampa Bay for sure.
Oh, so Tampa Bay wins but doesn't cover. Let's all
Yeah.
be reminded
Now, are
that
you
Andrew.
taking the under on Ryan Suckup or the over?
Well, I'm not a madman, so
The bets aren't up yet, Steve. God, we haven't even had Thursday night. Don't worry, I'll send you the update, though. I know you want to hammer the under on that one. So
hey,
keep me
Ernest.
informed.
Andrew chose the Raiders to win, so I think
Yeah.
we're all in good standing there
Hey,
for us
Ernest.
picking the Bucs. Yeah.
What's the best way to open up the Death Star with a Tampa Bay win? Of course. I mean, come on now. You just can't let the best quarterback in history go into Tampa Bay, or go into not Oakland and win in the Death Star.
Going to not Oakland.
Not
Other
Oakland.
place.
You gotta get a first win in the Death Star.
That's right. That's right. Let's wrap up our primetime pick'em. Let's talk about those Chicago Bears that I chose last week against the Los Angeles Rams. Although the Rams are 6-point favorites at home, hosting that defense with the Chicago Bears and Big Dick Nick Foles. So let's talk about this game. I'm going to start this one off with you, Davis. Who do you have in this game, and what's the scenario?
The Bears are underdogs in this game. I don't know why. I guess no one really respects the Bears. They still think that they're bottom of the division in the NFC North. But with that, I'm going to take the Bears to cover and to win. I will take the under in this game because it's Bears defense against the Rams defense, and those are two really good defenses. And you'll have a good show on Monday night.
Yep, I like to hear that Bears pick, but let me go ahead and go over to Kenny next. Kenny, are you riding the Bears pick, or are you going to go with the Rams?
Fuck no, I'm riding with the Rams on this one. I mean, come on. Like, I know that they've beaten some good teams, but at some point, like, an offense has to show up, and I think it's going to be the Rams this week. So I'm going to have the Rams to cover in this one.
Perfect. Jet, I know you're staring anxiously into the screen. I want to let you know Andrew did pick the Rams to win this week, so let you kind of teeter on that. Who do you have in this game?
I don't know how many times I have to pick against the Bears and be wrong, but I'm going to do it again.
Hey, welcome to the
Bears
Titans
are
nightmare,
your
buddy.
The Titan syndrome right now.
Yeah,
Paul knows all about
welcome to the
that.
Titans nightmare.
Last week, I recall mentioning how San Francisco got embarrassed and was going to come out and play a lot better, which they did. They ended up beating the Rams. But to me, I think for the Rams, that's got to be a little bit embarrassing. This is a shell of the NFC champs that beat you. You got to come back and have a bounce back game the next week because that is not a game that they should have lost. So that's why I'm taking Rams. But what's the spread? What spread do you have?
6.
6? I'm going to take the Bears to cover that spread.
Okay. All right, perfect. So Jet going with the Rams, but not covering. Just Brothers. I'm going to end this one with me and Steve. So Just Brothers, I'm going to start with you, Luke. Who do you have in this game?
Honestly, the Rams have been a great surprise this year. Honestly, I feel like they've had a bounce back year now. We all know what Sean McVay is going to do. It's run left, run left, run right, screen. It is what it is, but it works. And hey, it works for him. Give me the Rams, but I don't know. Not to cover.
All right, taking the risk shot there. Apparently, you were conflicted.
Ugh.
Paul, how do you feel?
Aaron Donald is a grown ass man. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take him,
What?
and I'm going to take the Rams, but they don't cover. The defenses are just too good on this. I don't see this as a touchdown game. The Rams win, but they don't cover.
Steve, you and Dre are looking to give your picks now. So talk to me a little bit about this game and who you got.
I'm going to take the Rams, but not to cover. I don't think Chicago's good enough on offense to go up against that Rams defense.
And Dre is going with Chicago for this game. He's really feeling that Bears defense is going to show up, and it's going to be a Khalil Mack game. I'm getting the counter argument here, and then Nick Foles will win in the fourth quarter. I am going to pick the Chicago Bears myself. I'm going to tell you right now, there will be a special teams touchdown on the Bears side in this game. I expect there to be a lot of running back and forth when it comes to running out the clock. So I don't expect it to be a high scoring game. And I think that Bears defense is actually for real. So we're going to see them stop this Los Angeles Rams offense. And I do think that Nick Foles plays best in the clutch, which with a very close game leans the Bears for me. So I'm going Chicago to win this game by a touchdown or less. But no matter what, they're the upset pick. So as again, Davis, Dre, and I are the outside here with this game, picking Chicago and Seattle, while you guys pick Arizona and Los Angeles to win those games. But that ends our primetime pick 'em. This is always brought to you by one of our favorite restaurants, Taquito Express, where you can find all you can eat tacos for $7.99 down in beautiful Brownsville, Texas. One of our live shows, one of our first live shows after coronavirus, will be in the restaurant of Taquito Express, where you can catch us all getting great food. It's going to be fantastic. So that takes us to round 3 for our 10-minute fire round picks. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be awesome right after this commercial break.
No, it's not.
It never is.
It might be awesome. It might be awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going
Depends
to be
how
a
long
good time.
Davis takes to pick.
Mark, this is where you're going to put the Cowboys fans crying and throwing stuff into this intro. Okay.
And shots
So
fired.
right when I say round 3, that's where I want you to start putting stuff. All right. That's the bell. And round 3s, we're going to start off with America's team, which are those Dallas Cowboys. Fans everywhere feeling fantastic about their team's chances to win this division and make a playoff run right now. Dallas Cowboys 1.5-point favorites on the road against those Washington Redskins. Oh, no, I did it. No. Washington football team.
Canceled.
No, we're going to get canceled.
In 2020.
Don't worry, Ernest. I can't be canceled, and I'm the co-host.
Perfect.
I'm
safe.
uncancelable.
I'm safe. All right. Dallas Cowboys marching into Washington. They're getting the win. I'm picking Dallas to win this game. Kenny.
You know that we're bad when we're only 1.5-point favorites against Washington. I hope we can cover that. Otherwise, I'm not watching the rest of the year.
Ken's a fair little fan.
Kenny picking Dallas. Davis.
This is a tough game to pick, but I'm picking Dallas.
Davis going Dallas. No tiebreakers here. Paul.
Oh, so
Oh no, he's mulling it over.
I'm not mulling it over at all. Dallas got absolutely embarrassed. That has to be absolutely rock bottom for them. Give me the Cowboys to win this.
We got
Taking the
20 years of
Cowboys.
rock
Luke.
bottom.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the year we're going to have Kyle Allen versus Andy Dalton?
Yep.
Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
I do
Zeke
want to
bounces
say
back.
I think an Alex Smith showing does come out in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to call that now.
Yep.
Jet.
Well, actually, you just stole my thunder there. I was going to say,
I'm
Alex Smith.
sorry.
I think Alex Smith is going to get into this game, and because the Cowboys give up 2 turnovers a game, and Washington's defense actually isn't too bad, I'm going to take Washington.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh.
Andrew stopped giving me picks at this point, so maybe he's conflicted. Steve, give us you and Dre's pick.
I'm gonna take Dallas. I
Washington for
guess to cover 1.5. But to be 100% honest with you, this is one that I won't be betting my own money on because I have a thing
Great
about
call.
I have a
Great
thing
call.
about gingers,
Hundreds.
guys with the
hundreds
last
of
name
dollars on this
Dalton.
game.
So
Kenny's taking the under on Zerline.
This is the game where you can evaluate how good Dalton is because you saw him come out really, really shaky, and then Zeke gave up 2 fumbles, and then you can
yeah,
tackle
but
a receiver before a pass gets caught now,
I
and
had a friend
all of a
with
sudden the
last
game was
name
out of
Dalton
reach.
before, and he was
This
a
is it
piece
right
of
here.
shit. So I can't trust Andy Dalton
This would be the Red
because
Rocket
I'm
moment.
assuming he's a piece of shit.
This determines if Larry Fitzgerald is a Cowboy or not this year.
Hey,
I
hey,
do-
where's the wig?
I do want to
got
put
it. It looked terrible.
It's all
Yeah,
right.
I got it. It was terrible. I got to get a new wig.
I was just gonna
Damn
say
it.
I do want to put a disclaimer on my pick. It is strictly if Alex Smith is getting in, because if he doesn't, there's no fucking chance Washington's beating them.
There you go. There you go. That's some That's some Dallas confidence, right? I can't even say our team's name right. All right,
Dallas.
Buffalo on the road against the New York Football Jets. Buffalo 13-point favorites. Don't care about the spread. Want more of the pick. Anybody picking the Jets to win? I guess that's only Dre picking the Jets to win for this game.
Kenny is.
No, I was just checking if anyone behind me was.
All right, so if you're smart, better put Buffalo down. Anybody taking 13 points?
Absolutely, lay it.
I'm on it too. Okay, I was gonna say I think it's a 3-touchdown game at least.
Buffalo's gonna lay the wood to them fools after 2 straight losses.
Wonderful.
Joe
All right.
Flacco.
All right, all about Buffalo. Let's move on. Cleveland, Cincinnati. This should be a fun one. Cleveland 3.5-point favorites on the road, visiting Cincy, a divisional game. Again, those are weird to choose. Jet, going with you first.
Oh, geez, I wanted a second to think about it, but you know what? Fuck it, Joey Burrow. Let's go.
I knew it. I knew you would go Cincy. That would conflict everybody. I knew that was gonna happen. Kenny, going to you next because you look absolutely miserable.
This is just so gross to pick. Give me Cleveland.
He's going Cleveland there. Davis, that means you're going Cincy for sure.
Oh yeah, give me Joey Burrow. Baker Mayfield is trash.
LSU's biggest fan.
That's the biggest problem there, Davis, is that Case Keenum's the quarterback. Luke.
Yeah, Case Keenum's the quarterback this week. OBJ can't catch COVID-19 apparently. So give me Cincinnati.
Hey,
Can't
he
catch a
can
football or
band.
COVID.
Yeah. He needs to find a pair of shoes. Get that man a pair of shoes.
Steve.
I'm going with Joe Burrow.
He's going Cincy as well. Dre going with
Heart
the
attack
dog
cats.
pound. Dre
Oh.
going with the dog pound. Paul.
Browns.
Paul
Thank you.
going with Cleveland. That I'm kind of surprised, but you guys should expect it. I'm going with the Houston product. I'm going Case Keenum and the Browns too. I think the Browns win this game, so that should make Kenny feel good because I'm
Okay,
picking
I
terrible.
don't feel as bad. If it was just me and Dre, I'm screwed.
Hey, Kareem Hunt's
Andrew
gonna have a monster week.
Yeah, I do
Kareem
think the
Hunt's gonna have
Browns.
a monster.
The Browns have a lot more to play for. And Jed, I'm going to take your embarrassing theory. Cleveland was slapped and made look dirty last week, so there's going to be some pride on the line if you lose to Cincy and a rookie quarterback. So going to take that embarrassing look there. I do think Joe Mixon has a great game, but of course you guys know me. I'm telling everybody to buy Joe Mixon right now. So
Right.
He will. He'll have a good game.
Let's talk about the next conflicting game because this one was a head scratcher for me. Detroit visits Atlanta. Atlanta 2.5-point favorites. I know who I'm picking for this game, so I'll just start it off. I'm going with Atlanta. I think that offense is back. It's hard to beat them when it's a shootout, and I trust Matt Ryan more than Matt Stafford. So I'm picking Atlanta for this game. Steve, going to you first.
I'm gonna have to take Atlanta. I don't like taking them this year, but I'm gonna take Atlanta on this one.
Dre is picking Detroit. He's saying DeAndre Swift is going to be a top 15 back this week. Expect 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards. Dre is feeling Detroit Lions football this week, although he says they're not as good as his Packers. Davis.
Let's hope that sticks because I have to start DeAndre Swift this week because Raheem Mostert is injured again. So, but give me the Falcons. The Falcons will win this game.
Perfect. Kenny.
They killed Kenny.
Kenny.
Oh, okay, I'm back. I cut out. Atlanta.
Oh, what happened to the superior internet, Canadian?
Hey, Siberia up here, okay?
Jet.
Falcons.
Falcons it is. Paul.
First of all, shout out to Miles. We love you, buddy. Miss you.
Yeah.
I'm taking your Falcons this week.
Luke, wrap us up.
Yeah, we don't have to put an APB out on Julio Jones. He is alive.
Absolutely.
He is alive down there.
Oh, and
So
he is
give me
not
the
being
Falcons
traded
at
to New
home.
England.
Are you sure, Steve? Are you
pretty
I mean,
sure.
he didn't practice.
Pretty
today.
sure.
He didn't practice today because, Lord forbid, an NFL player takes a day off.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're just gonna
True.
wait until after the Niners game is what
They'll
they
trade.
said now.
They'll trade
Okay.
Julio to New England,
They'll-
and then they'll
they'll do it
sign
after
Antonio
the
Brown.
game.
Right. That's what you got to
Yeah.
do.
That's what it is.
Smart choice.
All right, Green Bay visiting those Super Bowl bound Houston Texans. Green Bay Packers only 3.5 point favorites on the road. I don't even know why that's so close. Dre Rogers reappearing in the waiting room. Here we go. But all right, those Green Bay. Why is it when the Packers come out? That's hilarious.
Right.
All right, so
Leave them out there.
Yeah, leave them.
Christ.
the Green Bay Packers looking to get some revenge from that last game, going up against those Texans. I'll start with Dre.
Oh,
Solid pick.
Sorry, Ernest.
What a pick.
That's all right. It's Packers Texans. Who you got?
Yeah, sorry, Ernest, but your Texans will not win this game. I know the game's in Houston, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a close one. But I think the Packers win with the last second Mason Crosby field goal. So
So you think it's going to be close. Paul, what do you think about this game?
Green Bay. They bounce back after that tough loss.
Going with Green Bay. Steve.
I got my upset pick of the week here. I'm going with the Texans. I think losing David Bakhtiari is going to be a big problem. They had some big problems with the pass rush last week, and if you're trying to figure out your offensive line on the fly, J.J. Watt is not the guy you want to be going against.
Good pick. That keeps it consistent with what we've been doing so far with this.
Yes,
week's picks between
Dre
you and
is picking
That's
against
perfect.
me. Yes.
Luke.
That was a pretty much embarrassing loss for the Pack last week. They shouldn't have lost that game to Tom and the boys. So give me the Pack to bounce back by 2 field goals.
Perfect. Davis.
Like Paul has been saying all year, professional athletes bounce back after a, embarrassing loss. So give me the Pack and to cover.
Kenny.
I'm rolling with Dre's forehead on this one and taking the Packers.
That's right. That's right.
I'm taking the Packers in this one.
Jet.
The Texans can't stop any running back on the planet, so Aaron Jones is going to have a field day.
Perfect. I do think Watson goes off for the Houston Texans. That Texans defense is going to get lit up. But you can start some Texans receivers this week. I am going to pick the Packers to win this game. I'm not going to call spread because I don't need to. But my money would be on just picking Green Bay on the money line. That would be all I would recommend. So I'm just taking Green
I'm saying
Bay
you're
here.
not confident on it. Gotcha.
I'm not confident at all. However, I would not be surprised if the Houston Texans win this game because they have to find their winning streak to the Super Bowl eventually. It's got to start somewhere. Even if they get the 7th seed, they're going to get there. So somehow or another, they got to start winning. This might be the game. All right, Carolina going up against New Orleans. Another good game this week. New Orleans 7.5 point favorites at home coming off the bye. That was a big bye week for most of my fantasy teams, so I'm glad they're back. I'll start this one off with Kenny. Who do you have in this game?
Give me the Saints.
Saints to win. Jet.
Had Michael Thomas not been in for this game, I would have gone Carolina, but since I'm pretty sure he's going to play, I'm going Saints.
Agree. Barring any sort of fight or insult to another teammate, he should be in. Davis.
Really torn on this.
Don't worry. Take your time.
Give me the Panthers.
The
He's
lightning
going
round segment.
Carolina. Davis is playing chess while we're all playing checkers. Steve.
Did we just get a
I'm
toilet
gonna
POV
take the
of what you
Saints.
see when Steve's peeing? Just fucking,
No, I was
what the
eating.
hell is that?
I was eating.
Who you pick, Steve?
I'm gonna take the Saints.
Steve, you look high as fuck.
I am high as fuck. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm taking the Saints. I like Teddy Bridgewater on the Panthers this year, but I can't trust him to beat the Saints.
Perfect. Dre, does that mean you are rolling with Carolina for this game?
Someone pull his string. He's not talking.
Dead.
Dead.
Killed by kite.
There it is, Kenny. There it is.
Dre.
We gotta summon him.
Hey, you gotta have the
You
really
can
long
read
pull
Carolina,
for the
right? Mark, put Carolina. It's right there.
Dre, you have 30 seconds here. You're going with Carolina. Paul.
I like the Saints here off the bye coming back. But I do like that spread. I like Carolina to get them points. So the Carolina's a good football team. They're better than most people think.
Luke.
Saints at home, even though Drew Brees is the most frustrating quarterback right now. He's on my
Yes.
fantasy team.
Same.
Absolutely frustrating. But give me the Saints at home.
Taking Saints and Michael Thomas big day as well. That means Dre is taking Carolina to pull that upset on the road. That's a ballsy choice there, but you and Davis are hoping for another ballsy win. Let's talk about those San Francisco
I'll take
49ers.
the Panthers.
Oh,
Whatever.
Dre's got the Panthers. Dre has a
He's
beard.
alive.
Dre's got the Panthers. All right. Dre takes
Whatever,
the
why not?
49ers on the road against New England. New England 2.5-point favorites at home. Dre, I'm starting with you on this one.
This internet is pissing me off. What was that?
He's taking the Niners.
San Francisco against the Patriots.
Oh yeah, I'm taking the Niners. Steve knows. Book it.
Book it.
Steve, does that mean you're going New England?
Yes.
Absolutely. I love these two. Luke.
Who is even playing for San Francisco? Do they have a team? I mean, they're all on the IR. So
It's Jimmy G and the gang.
give me the Patriots when they
Debo's playing. Ayuk is playing.
when they sign Antonio Brown.
Kittle's playing.
Antonio Brown.
So you're taking the Niners?
I'm taking the New England Patriots.
Oh, I'm just making sure. Paul.
Patriots.
Patriots. Davis.
Patriots.
Kenny.
Patriots only had 12 points last week. That's not happening again. Patriots.
Jet.
Yeah, Cam needs that bounce back. Patriots.
I am taking New England as well. Dre, the lone 49er, but who knows? We've had some lone picks win this year.
For the people placing the bets on the Patriots, mind you, like Kenny said, that the Patriots offense won't just score 12 points this week. They were missing 3 starting offensive linemen last week and 3 starting defensive linemen last week. So you tell me a team that can be missing 3 starting D linemen, 3 starting O linemen, and not practice 2 times in 2 weeks and play their best football.
And keep in mind, bettors, that we are entering phase 3 of COVID Gate. And in phase 3, returning members of the football team for New England come, and they've infected the league at this point. So they are the lone team getting healthy.
Yeah.
Right, Steve?
Are you the Steve
Chestnut
Burner?
checkers.
We've gone through preparations A through G. We are now on preparation H.
Yes.
Yes. It does feel good on the whole.
All right, let's move on. 2 games left. Last 2 minutes of this 10-minute segment. Kansas City visiting on the road to Denver. Kansas City 9.5-point favorites in Denver. I'm going to start this one off with Steve.
I'm going to take Kansas City. Denver plays good football, but I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs.
Perfect. Davis.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Anybody not picking the Chiefs?
Dre isn't.
Dre, are you picking the Broncos for this game?
This will be surprisingly
Hell-
high scoring, I think.
Hell no.
No?
So we got
9.5 points seems steep though at Mile High. So
I agree.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be-
ain't
I'd-
touching that spread.
yeah.
It looks like Noah Fant is playing. Looks like Drew Lock is playing. Denver will be at full strength for what they have available for their offense besides Cortland Sutton. Melvin Gordon looks to be playing. So I do expect there to be some back and forth.
Don't let him drive. Don't let him
Yeah,
drive
don't let
there.
him-
Someone
I
pick
don't
him
think
up.
he's allowed to, actually.
Someone get that man an Uber.
Yeah.
was a
You make
horrible
millions
joke.
like Uber.
NFL
You
has
should
a
be
car
platinum
service.
member.
You gotta assign bodyguards. You gotta assign bodyguards to that man. All right, let's finish this one off. All right, last game of the week. Jacksonville visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers 7.5-point favorites against Minshew Mania. Dre, starting with you on this one. You taking Minshew Mania?
I wish I could.
Oh,
I really wish I could. But no.
the suspense was killing me. Thanks, Dre. Let me go ahead and just ask the panel to make this easy. Anybody picking Jacksonville for this game?
Hey, Dre, is this
No.
the snoozer of the week?
No, it's going to be awesome to watch Herbert throw 400.
Yeah. I
Bills
think
Jets is probably the sleeper because they're going to go up like 28 rip and then it's going to be shut it off.
Who do you play if you have Josh Allen and Justin Herbert on your team?
Herbert.
Oh, Josh Allen.
Herbert.
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Herbert.
Allen, he's playing the Jets.
But I mean,
he's
they're going to
also
get up
Josh Allen.
stupid and then it's going to be running backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Singletary show.
Yeah.
So you play Herbert over Josh Allen this week.
Yeah.
I would.
Man, that's conflicting. Herbert or Kyler Murray?
I don't know. Jet said he's throwing for 400, so like I got to roll with Jet on this one.
Murray.
Yeah, but I think Josh Allen's going to too. They got to do something to get to 28-0.
Murray.
And
You play Murray
Yeah.
over Herbert?
Zach Moss
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, Kyler. Yep.
Always
All
play
right.
Kyle.
That wraps up our pick'em segment. We had a lot of sweet picks if you're following along. Good picks this week. Dallas, Buffalo, Atlanta, New Orleans, Kansas City, New England, Los Angeles Chargers. For your against the spread, Philly is undefeated. Keep that in mind. Then
Who
you
picked
had
the Cowboys.
everybody except for you.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, you got Washington. Every pick that Steve made, you got the opposite, Dre. Are you okay with that until you got on?
All right, I'll play that game.
Sweet. It was actually really fun. And you got to go.
It's only against the spread, right? Not pick 'em. Against the spread, right?
Oh, against the spread. Oh, I did it for pick 'em in the beginning too, but you got good picks. Trust me. Well, you got the Jets. You want me to change that? I can change the Jets for
like
you.
goddamn
no,
Jets.
You're not changing the Jets.
No, I'll play this game. Why
Oh
not?
my gosh, he's rolling with it. If Drake goes undefeated, we do this every week, and we just roll with those
Yeah.
picks. I mean, I'm all
Hey.
over it.
You know what I'm gonna do, Ernest? If Dre's picks win more than Steve's, I will give whoever puts on their, go pack go to or whatever on your timeline. I'll give them a $25 gift card.
Sweet. You heard it here, folks. Blue Collar Media giving a $25 gift card. If Dre's picks win this week, then you put Go Pack Go on our any social posts for this podcast episodes or any of the videos that Mark makes for us, then you will be entered into a chance to win a $25 gift card. Go Pack Go, any social media post, and Dre wins. That's exciting stuff right there. Let's wrap this one up, guys. It was a fast 10 minutes on that last segment. We'll start off our sign-offs. We'll start off with you, Davis. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at ddog1123 on all platforms. I will be streaming tonight. Hopefully Ernest joins. We'll be running Zombies Royale. If you guys don't know what that is, come and watch. It's pretty fun. It's very fast-paced. And go check out my new article that has been put up today for Big 12 rankings. Pretty good. And thanks for having me, Ernest.
Absolutely. Jet, tell the people where they can find you.
You can catch us, myself and Harrison Brooks, at Frostbite Pod on Twitter, and I think we're working on an Instagram right now. We're also on Facebook, and just wanted to give a quick shout out to Kenny and his lady. Good luck, bud.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just Luke, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Hearts on Hockey. Start some shit, talk some shit. Twitter's lawless anyways, so you might as well just roll with it. We're dropping a new college football podcast Friday morning, so be sure to tune in for that. And thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. This is going to be a great show from here on out, and I just want to thank everybody.
Absolutely. Appreciate you coming on. Your debut was great. It's just going to get better from here on. Hope you can come out for spectacular and have a good costume. Kenny, you're up.
So you can find me on social media at shooters_pod. Really excited for season 2 of my show. We're going to be live at 6 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Eastern on November 1st for that season. And the episode drops the next day as well. Thanks so much for shouting out Victoria Ernest. I really appreciate it. She's in good spirits. We're hoping for the best, obviously. Probably won't know results here for a number of weeks, but we're incredibly hopeful for that. And thanks for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
On that note, Kenny, a lot of us have had a lot of things happen this year. Miles with his situation going on, which he'll come on and talk himself, and then gosh, I keep messing that up. You and your girlfriend going through your own thing, and a lot of us have gotten COVID and just going through situations. So just keep in mind, 2020 has affected everybody. We're all part of the family, and if you guys need a shout out, you need special. You just want to talk, we're all available for all of our listeners. I've shouted out to a few people that watch the show and help them out, any podcast or any listeners. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story too, Kenny.
Sure.
All right, Dre, where can the people find you?
First off, Kenny, good luck. I didn't get to hear your story, but I'll re-listen to the show and I'll know what it is about. But good luck
That's another
anyway.
listen.
Shout out to Miles as well. Hope you're doing better, buddy. And before I give out my details, if you're looking to ship stuff to Mexico or from Mexico, or you need a warehouse or storage, you can reach out to the Porteo Group at porteogroup.com. They've got 21 plus years of experience. They're based out of Houston, and they know their stuff. So porteogroup.com, hit them up. And if you've got any questions about them, you can find me on Twitter at Dre2124.
Thank you, Dre.
And by the way, the odds for Steve not wearing orange were plus 5,000. So somebody made a lot of money today.
Thank you, Dre. That was wonderful analysis, and a shout out to the Porteo Group, as we all do our ceremonious zoom in. Steve, where can the people find you?
It concerns me that somewhere in Bali, Dre's got a bunch of homeless Indonesians on the side of the road, actually depending on what color shirt I wear on the podcast. But you can find me on Twitter at Ryzen_Steven, or check out the website www.bluecollarmg.com.
What kind of sandwich are you eating, Steve?
That's a burger.
Oh, what kind of burger are you eating, Steve?
Burgers are sandwiches.
Wait, aren't burgers sandwiches?
Oh, we can't get into this. Paul.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I asked Paul.
So
Where can
burgers and no
people find you?
tacos from Taquito Express.
We did that Taquitos Express sign up. We did it. We did that one.
No, you can catch me on Twitter at Steel Curtain PEH. Check out all these guys' work. They do a great job. I know I say it kind of all the time. Some of you guys got me, like Steve, but it really is a family around here. Kenny, we always wish you the best of luck. You and Victoria and Miles, we love you, buddy. Miss you on here. Miss you talking shit. Just whenever you need us, we're here for you. Take care of each other out there, guys. Just like Ernest said, it's 2020. It's been weird. Just be a good human being, and one love to everybody.
Absolutely. I'll do my final sign off. I'm your favorite host, Ernest Silva, at the Sport Gene on all social platforms where you can find Into the Lab and all of our great stuff with Blue Collar Media. My last sign off here, I usually say go enjoy the games this week. Good luck on all your bets, but I also want to say one big thing, and that is go vote. There's not a platform that couldn't be bigger right now than to go vote, because the President of the United States is your choice. Go vote. And if you're not part of the states, go encourage your state's friends to go vote, because it's a big deal here. So you express your rights. That's the way you have a voice. Go vote. Davis, everybody at your college campus should be voting. Go tell them to vote. All right. So appreciate you guys being listeners, Lapsters alike. Appreciate you guys being on the show. Look forward to our spooktacular trivia next week. Remember, sports scientists, to wear your costumes. It's going to be fun. And then we have our Battle of the Sexes trivia the following week. So a lot of great stuff coming up. A lot of free stuff for our listeners to be a part of the show. Hashtag ELM or EVM on any of our social media posts. Get you a spot on the show. You guys have a great night and a great weekend.